Hello everybody, Animus here. Thank you for clicking on this video and watching it in the first place. August 8th is a new dawn for Paragon. V42 is coming and it is intense. The whole game is changing. It is the biggest update we have seen thus far. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to properly build a hero and different tricks and tips that I have seen along the way. If you are interested in watching the Up Paragon podcast from myself and Will, there will be a link down in the description. Thank you everybody so much for watching and I hope you enjoy. Everything you know about Paragon, throw it out the window because the current meta and everything about the game has changed. Hopefully this guide can show you a little bit in depth on how to properly build a normal deck and how to properly survive this new meta. Today I'm going to be building a carry build, so I have Order and Chaos here. Now Order has a lot of good overhealing and shield cards that are really good late game for carries, and then of course Chaos. So these are all the new cards here. I'm going to pick cards like Sacred Alchemy. Sacred Alchemy, you gain shield for 20% of your basic attack damage, which is amazing for a carry late game. There's a lot of different fun shield cards that you can pick for Order. Now you can pick 6 gems for any attribute you want. You can only pick 6, so I mostly max out agility. I put 1 in intellect if I'm not mistaken because it does have a really good shield card to begin with. But gems are passives like multi-shot or lifesteal. Bounty Stalker is the 6th gem that gives you bonus stack attack speed and damage every shot. You get empowered rounds, which is every 5th shot you get bonus damage. Critical hits is the last one too if you don't want Bounty Stalker. Now at first gems were very confusing for me, so I'm going to try and break this down to as easy as possible for you. Building in-game is actually a lot different now. You don't have to go back for every little thing that you want to buy. All you have to do is click G and open up your menu to buy attribute points. Attributes are the bread and butter of deck building now. You don't have to spend your gold or your CXP or your amber to buy cards. You spend 1,000 coins and you get 1 attribute points. Spend 5,000 and you can unlock a gem if you placed it in there in your deck building process. So all you have to do is save up your attribute points to buy the cards that you want. They're not spent forever though, but they don't stack. So say if you have 12 agility points, you can only buy a card that's 8 and 4. Get what I'm saying? So when building a deck, you really have to consider what role you're building for. For a carry, you know you're going to max out your agility attribute. So that's going to give you 25 points of agility to spend. You can't have any more. Sacred Alchemy costs 8 and 4. You're going to have a card that's 13 that gives you crit chance. And then the other 4 you can have for another card. Another tip to give you is to know your gem timeline before you start building your cards. If you're building for a caster, but all of your cards cost a little bit of vitality or agility, this might be something wrong with your deck because you have to overcommit to a stat that you may or may not want. So if a lot of your cards cost vitality, but your gem timeline is in intellect for a caster, then you're going to have a gap between the power that you could have had if you built more intellect versus vitality. Does that make sense? I was very confused on it when I first started building in V42, and I hope that information can help you in the future. So the main takeaway from V42 is you're going to have a couple games worth of learning. I suggest hopping into bot matches, trying out different affinities for different heroes and roles, because there is so much information to take in to start. You can build pretty much any way. I built a carry Wraith, I built a jungle Rictor, and that was insane. So my biggest tip for V42 is to try out every build for every hero. Heroes may be relevant in roles that may or may not be effective in this current meta. For instance, jungle Rictor is really good now. Wraith might even be a good viable carry now in this meta. And if you pay attention to the gameplay now, the card that I have on is Sacred Alchemy, and it is giving me stacks of shields per basic attack damage, that 20% that I have been talking about. This card is insane for carries. The last thing I really wanted to talk about was my experience in the PTR. Now unfortunately I didn't have the chance to play a whole lot. It was very hard to get into a PvP match because there was such a limited number of players. But when I did get into a PvP patch, I feel like I got wrecked on because it was literally top 100 people in the game were playing it. Every competitive, or almost every competitive team, people like Imsco and Mikey, RGS Ace, Hollow, Tarzan, and Kamikoze were in it, and it was very hard to keep up with those people because they're so amazing at the game. But I did learn a lot from it, and I'm just grateful that Epic considered me as a influencer and a leader in the community. I'm very grateful for that. There's a couple things that I don't like about V42. First of all, the attack speed just seems silly on certain people. The attack speed is insane in this new update. Death timers are also a big issue. You're out of the game for 60 to 70 seconds late game if you die, which is crazy. One of the craziest updates to the meta is you can no longer lifesteal off Orb Prime, which is going to be a huge thing, and it's going to be more involved with the team itself and not just your carry getting the late game so he can solo Orb. I think that just about wraps up my video here. I'm not going to dive into everything about V42 because that would be an hour-long video. I'm not going to dive into the Iggy and Scorch rework because honestly, everybody's talking about that. You can go watch them. I wanted to give you my perspective on V42 and things that I saw that can probably help you out in the long run. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate all the great support that I've gotten from you. I hope you enjoyed this. I love you all so much, and thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.